The Shimbal ZO600M external monitor has a 5.5-inch display, provides a complete suite of exposure tools, has wireless transmission capabilities, can apply LUTs, and can even record to a micro SD card. Details coming up, but first I encourage you to subscribe and choose all notifications so you're kept informed on the latest camera gear, news, and rumors. Whenever I get something new, I always try to figure out how to use it without using a manual. And since the Shimbal ZO600M actually didn't come with a manual, I wanted to put it through a much more challenging test. In order to test ease of use, I brought up the village mayor. He's a photographer and doesn't shoot video a lot. Is it that easy to set up the Shimbal ZO600M? Mr. Mayor.
Hi. Let's find out. No?
So we're off to a bad start. He doesn't know what the monitor is, picked up the R5 instead. Apparently, mosquito season has started. It's over 80 degrees here with humidity around 90%, and they've woken up. There we go.
We need battery, I guess. What is this?
That is a Sony NP970 battery. That will give you hours and hours of shooting here in the mosquito-infested northern Canadian woods.
Oh, I see.
Tim, this isn't the wireless one, so that should give you a hint on what you do next.
Ah, this flap goes somewhere. Oh, maybe
I've got a team of mosquitoes on me right now.
I know, and I have to hurry because if not, we'll be eaten alive. Oh. If this was like...
You know, when I said we were going to have Chinese food for lunch, I didn't think you were going to be the food for the mosquitoes.
Or I didn't think it was going to be dinner by the time we finish this. Oh my God. Okay, so this goes here, I'm assuming. Oh my God, these mosquitoes are just driving me crazy.
Guys, there's literally a swarm of them around us right now. I've got about 6 of them feeding on me right now.
Things we do for this darn channel. Oh, will you hurry?
I'm not even bothering to recheck the ISO either.
Oh, this goes here. Oh, we're done. Look at that. Okay, so maybe we turn it on. First things first, take the lens cap out. Oh, wow. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that.
Looks like the aspect ratio might be off a little bit.
A little bit.
Tim, you've never used an external monitor before.
No.
And you don't shoot a lot of video.
Rarely. Great.
So as far as ease of setup,
so far so good.
So far so good.
Okay. No. This is where I might need to...
First, let's get familiar with the location of the controls. The power button is here. We have 3 function buttons on the top. I've configured the first one for waveforms, the second button for safe area, and the third button is set up for zoom. On the side we have HDMI in and out, full-size ports, DCI power out, and on the other side we have a micro SD card slot and a USB slot. And on the bottom we have a connection for a single 1/4-inch thread, and the back has 2 Sony battery slots which are hot swappable. When we turn on the Shimbal, we see all the screen controls along the bottom. Let's start off with waveforms. We can enable RGB parade, but we can also enable the histogram at the same time, along with vector scopes, all on the screen at the same time, something that very few external monitors allow us to do. We can set markers for safe area, anamorphic, and set a center marker along with the aspect ratio. And we can use different colors for the safe area. We can also pick the aspect ratio, 4:3, 13:9, 15:9, and 16:9. At the top we have various icons, but I want to draw your attention to the battery icon in the top right. We see that we have 1 battery connected. Let's see what happens when I connect another battery without powering off. A simple snap, and the second battery is recognized, allowing us to hot swap, showing the battery levels for each battery independently. We can see the resolution and frame rate. The max on the Shimbal is 1920 by 1080 or FHD at 60 frames per second progressive. And we're connected to the Canon R5 using the HDMI in port. I really think that exposure is one of the main reasons for an external monitor like the Shimbal ZO600M, although I got to admit having a larger display makes a huge difference too. So let's punch up this capability, enable false colors, and unlike other external monitors, we're also able to enable zebras at the same time. And we can adjust the minimum IRE levels as well as the maximum IRE levels. We can set peaking to red, green, or blue, and adjust the sensitivity as desired. I find that the R5 doesn't give me the level of sensitivity that the Shimbal provides. I really like this capability. I think Shimbal does a really good job here. The Shimbal 600 provides teleprompter capabilities. It's nice to have, but I would only use it in a pinch as your eyes are directed away from the lens, whereas a true teleprompter projects the text right in front of the lens like the Glide Gear TMP100. But still, it's very handy for some scenarios. We can also use the ability to record video to the micro SD card. It is limited to 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second, but it isn't very detailed. I really wouldn't use it for any sort of final product, but it certainly could be used as a proxy file. It's not going to deliver the same level of quality as a dedicated external recorder like the Ninja 5 or the Ninja 5 Plus, which allows recording up to 8K raw video. The Shimbal 600 has 4 menus. The menu system is where we set the wireless mode, perform a factory reset, perform a software update, and get product information. The function menu is where you set the function keys. F1 is currently set up to display waveforms, F2 is set up to display the safe area, and F3 is set up to allow you to record to that micro SD card. It's easy to change. Select the capability and tap the back button, and there we are. The settings menu is where we can format the SD card, adjust the volume, backlight, and enable DC power out, which enables 7.4 volts out. The display menu allows us to adjust the brightness, contrast, saturation, and sharpness. Well, I had a lot of fun shooting this segment. I really love external monitors and external recorders. One of the big things is you get that larger screen. You're not squinting to try to make out details. And even with reading glasses, I find that the LCD on the back of most cameras, even the larger ones, just isn't big enough. Where I think the Shimbal ZO600M really gets a win is the ability to adjust all the different waveforms, vector scopes, and histograms at the same time. Not just having a choice between turning on one or the other, but having all 3 on the screen at the same time. And that's a really big capability. I think waveforms are a great way of being able to help identify exposure. Same with vector scopes. Histograms, not so much. I've talked about this endlessly because, well, histograms don't allow you to detect middle gray, and that's where waveforms and vector scopes come in. So to have both of them on the screen at the same time can be handy, although it can be a little bit busy at the same time as well. And when it comes to zebras and false color, again, I've never seen an external monitor or recorder that allows us to have them both on the screen at the same time. I like false color, it's very useful. I also like zebras, and usually it's a one or the other capability. Well, not with the Shimbal ZO600M. I also love that the batteries are hot swappable. When I first unboxed it, I thought, oh no, this thing's going to be heavy on my camera, and the reason being I only have 3 Sony NPF batteries, and 2 of them are the 970s, the big heavy ones, and the other one is the smallest one that you can get, and I didn't think it would be enough power to go out. If I was going to be doing this on a regular basis, I'd probably get 2 of the small ones or 2 of the medium-sized ones to lessen the weight. But the ability to hot swap these things, and not only hot swap them, but have 2 battery indicators in the top right, I think makes a huge difference. A really great feature. The Shimbal ZO600M has several other capabilities that you won't find in other external recorders or monitors, and one of them being the teleprompter capability. Now, for the first year of shooting this channel, I had the Glide Gear TMP100 on all the time, and I used it all the time. I don't anymore, but what I really liked about it was that I could look directly into the words as they're coming up over the screen, and they were projected right above where the lens was. Now, it's nice to have this teleprompter capability to load in your own words and have them show up as you're talking, but because the external recorder sits above, you're going to end up looking up at it and not looking directly into your clients or to whoever your audience is. So it's a nice add, but really I wouldn't find it that useful. The other capability that has this external monitor punching a little bit above its weight is the ability to record video to the micro SD card slot. What would make this an absolute killer capability is if the company decided to improve upon the quality of at least 1080p to be able to take 4K video coming out of cameras like the R5, downsample them, and give us a really detailed 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames or 60 frames per second. That would be an absolutely huge deal. And for $369 to $399, depending on whether it's on sale or not, that would make this external monitor an absolute steal. But at $369, I think it's a good deal. I think it does a really good job. It's well built, it's well constructed, it's got a lot of capabilities, and it says that this company thinks outside the box. And I could see the next version, the Mark II or even the Mark III, supporting more external recorder capabilities. But those do take an awful lot of power and resources from a unit. But if they borrow some of what Apple has done and go with more ARM-based processing and increase the capabilities of the unit, I do certainly think that could be something on the roadmap. And I know what you're thinking. Well, what about just getting a Ninja 5 external recorder? And you could do that. These start around $599, and around Christmas, Black Friday, they sometimes go on sale for 20% off. So $599 is the regular price, and that's just for the external recorder itself. If you buy the accessories, which you're going to need over time, so let's assume you don't have any of the accessories you're going to need to run this, you're looking at really $1,000 US to get the Ninja 5 up and running. And if you're getting the Ninja 5 Plus, well, it costs a little bit more than that. So for $369, you essentially get a very powerful, a very versatile, useful external monitor. And I think it's a really good deal. But now I want to talk to you a little bit about behind the scenes of creating this video. Over the last couple of days, we've had incredible temperatures, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is something like 25.76 degrees Celsius. Just incredible weather, and the humidity has been really low, so nice dry air, hot, but in the shade, it's just been absolutely beautiful. So I invited the village mayor to come up with me, and I thought, let's do this review together because we have a lot of fun. It's usually quite humorous. And as he was driving up, I decided to go outside and cut the lawn, and I walked outside, and I felt like I hit a wall of water. It was only 70 degrees at the time, or about 21 Celsius, but it was humid. The air was saturated. And by the time he arrived and we went out to the forest, it was hot. It was around 80 degrees, and I was tired. I was feeling a little cranky. So we drove all the way to where we needed to be, up into the wild wilderness of the Canadian wild. And it was a little hot. It was a little humid, but worse. Even though we were pretty far from a water source, the air was teeming with mosquitoes. We were planning to spend a good 20 or 30 minutes in the forest, and the first scene that I wanted to shoot is to show how easy it is to use the Shimbal ZO600M. You see, the village mayor is a photographer, and he's completely customized the buttons on his camera to the point where I couldn't even switch it over to video. That's how much customized he's set up his R5. And if you notice at the end of that sequence, if you want to go back, you'll notice that the aspect ratio isn't quite right, which I called out. And it wasn't doing clean HDMI, and I kind of thought, what's going on? Well, he had kept it in stills mode, and once we switched it over to video mode, well, everything looked perfect. The village mayor had never used an external monitor. I put all the parts down there on the ground, and he was able to get it set up pretty quickly. Now, he could have done it a whole lot quicker if it wasn't for him getting bit by mosquitoes all the time. And for me, well, you can tell I'm getting bit by mosquitoes all the time too, because, well, the video's uncharacteristically shaky, and at times the autofocus is, well, jumping all over the place because I'm tapping different parts of the screen. I'm getting bit, and it's just horrible. There's so much more video on the cutting room floor that I wanted to include, but I kept shifting the autofocus point from where it needed to be. I didn't even really follow the ISO too much, because normally what I do when I shoot in scenes like that, I'll probably get it set up. I'll do a metering to determine what the right ISO rate should be, what the right f-stop should be, and then I start recording, and if I shift my position, I do it all over again. Well, I shift my position several times, but I didn't adjust everything because, like I said, I probably got bit something like 50 times at the very least. So after shooting that sequence, we all just hightailed it right back here, and that's where I set up the two R5s, and that's where I shot off the screen inside. And I know it doesn't look nearly as good. I was looking to make this a whole lot more pleasing to the eyes. I want it to be a much better video, but the weather had turned on me, and that's the one thing about shooting with weather. Environmental factors aren't always in our favor. So I decided to leave that in there. I thought about reshooting it in my own backyard, which is beautiful. The tulips are up, all the trees are blossoming. It just looks absolutely wonderful. But sadly, yeah, no, I was tired. We had lunch, and I thought, if I don't hurry up and get this done, and it's, what time is it now? It's just after 6 o'clock. And after I'm finished shooting this, it's upstairs, get dinner ready, and then finish this off and hopefully get this out to you later tonight. But yeah, what a crazy, crazy day. The long and short of it, I think the Shimbal ZO600M is worthwhile at $369, which is what it's on sale for right now. That's US dollars. I think it's one of the best external video monitors that I've actually worked with. Well constructed, well built, got a micro SD card built into it. It's got teleprompter capabilities. And of course, you've got your exposure, you've got your waveforms, vector scopes, all that. It's just an absolutely wonderful device. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and choose all notifications by choosing all notifications. Anytime I publish a video, you're going to get notification. And no, it's not like you're going to get spammed with email all the time. But whenever you log into YouTube, you'll see a little message up at the top that I produced a video. And that way you can stay up to date in the latest news and rumors, as well as catch the latest reviews. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.